What is up everybody, ASUS Samurai 7 here, back with another Project Zomboid video. If you missed out on my last part of Cleo Trucko's story, it ended with our second helicopter event in the playthrough. These past few weeks, we've just been bombarded with loud noises, from the first helicopter event to the many house alarms I've tripped up to this point. And now, the second chopper. All of the dead around town are probably herded into some decent sized groups by now, which will only be making it more difficult to clear them out. And since we haven't had the luxury of finding a generator yet, we're gonna need to head back out there. But Cleo, she's built different, so I'm not scared. But for now, let's wait for the helicopter to fly away. I started in the bathroom, where I unloaded extra medical supplies I had on me from the last video, and used the remaining fresh water that was stuck in the pipes to fill up my bottle. When I got downstairs, I checked to see what ammo type my shotgun took, to see if we had any lying around. I don't think we found any yet, so I put the shotgun onto the ground for right now to free up a little more space. Next up, I started chopping up food to put into a stir fry, using as much of the stale food as I could before it went bad. The echoing sounds of the helicopter still loomed above, which lured one of the dead to my side door. Luckily though, it was just one. I'll use your pants for extra denim strips to pad up my clothing, which, after I ate my lunch, I headed upstairs to do. Cleo only has a few more pieces of clothing that have yet to been padded up, so I was able to finish up whatever was remaining, even my gloves. Now hopefully we'll never get bit. So far, been pretty lucky on that front. By the time I got back downstairs, the helicopter had traveled away, so I used the remaining daytime to go out and gather some planks. I mentioned in my last video that I wanted to construct some crates for extra storage, and since most of the day has already been ruined, now's a good time to go out and do that. Once I arrived at my chosen house, I immediately got started with a dismantling process, going room by room, destroying as much as I could, which gave me enough to where I was able to craft an additional 2 storage crates upstairs, along with one in the kitchen for surplus food. Then I smoked up a cigarette and unequipped all my headgear. Cleo doesn't remember her hair being this long since, well, probably middle school. Although she does wear it pretty well, it gives the zombies something to grab a hold of. So Cleo found it in her best interest to go ahead and cut it a little shorter. Which, what can I say, she also rocks pretty well. I think this zombie is technically inside, so I'm going to move it a little further away from the house just in case. We don't want Cleo getting sick. On my way back in, I grabbed the pots of water that were sitting outside to fill up, and then put them into the oven to purify. After I consumed more stir fry for dinner, Cleo was starting to get tired. So I went ahead and made my way upstairs. That way we can get an early start tomorrow. Cleo woke up at around 5 AM and ate the remaining stir fry for breakfast. I also took some ham from the fridge so that I'll have a snack to eat while I'm out killing the hordes. We found our first zombie before we even left the driveway, which that's never a good sign. Fuck! I accidentally turned on cruise control. Let's back it up a little bit and drive it up here, so we can easily hop in if things go wrong. When I jumped out, I was already overwhelmed with the amount of zombies around, so I ran towards the house for cover and to try to break up the group, but that only lured more towards me. We need beta blockers. I was backed all the way up to the fence, so I had to circle around this house too. Ooh, that zombie's got a sickle stuck to it. Let's eat this, it'll give us a boost. Crap, almost got myself cornered. I quickly opened up the door so that some of the dead would funnel inside, and then I was finally able to thin down that group. I'll take this. I made my way back up to the front of the house when I saw one inside, but Cleo tripped another house alarm. Don't ask me how the zombie that's already in here didn't trip it off before me, but maybe the owners had a special security system that only detects humans. I had to make a split-second decision on whether I would stay and fight off the incoming zombies or run back to the safe house. My initial idea probably not too smart, was to try to take on the incoming herd, in hopes that most would be blocked by the two high walls surrounding the cul-de-sac. But after one of my knives broke, I added the sickle to my belt, but the incoming wave was a lot more dense than the last. There's no way we could take this one out. I retreated back to the abandoned house, while I continued eating to gain a few more passive buffs. When I got inside, I was met with a sudden realization that the only exiting window was shattered already, which scraped up Cleo's hands in the process. I was backed up all the way into the corner once again. I probably should have taken this golden opportunity to hop the fence here, but I turned left to keep going, popping more beta blockers to reduce Cleo's panic attack. Ah, too close. I zoomed out my camera view and finally realized just how many dead were lured my way. Okay, let's get out of here. I decided to stop the car about halfway home, so if there's any zombies following me, they'll only be coming in one direction. After a bunch of more close calls with the first wave of dead, I was rewarded with a shotgun, a pistol, and a holster to hold it. Now that I have some extra firepower in case we get ambushed, I felt a lot safer. Crap, Cleo's getting exhausted. Time to swap to the knife. After that, I returned back home to grab more food to eat and to give Cleo a little break from the killing, which I probably should have given her a little longer than just an hour, but I didn't want to waste any time. When I got back to the farmhouse, I tried to play it safe in order to conserve Cleo's energy, by bringing only a few zombies at a time. It worked for the first few zombies, but then the group started migrating back over towards where the house alarm went off, so I was forced to creep over towards them. Walked all the way up to the corner, where I was met with a jump scare and 3 zombies. Oh, there's 4. Too many to do the wall trick on, so I stepped back and I was able to kill one, but the other 2 got up and grabbed a hold of Cleo, and I heard the sound of a bite. Shit, we gotta get home. There's still enough time to cut off the hand and save her life. Although she'll be living with the nub for the rest of her days, that's better than dying. I bandaged my hand prior to getting into the car, and then sped my way home. I ran in once I got there, threw my helmet down, and ran upstairs for the saw just in case. Then I ran into the bathroom to prep for surgery, but when I went to make the cut, I was unable to. I tried a bunch of different methods, taking some pills beforehand, dragging the saw to the affected area, taking off bandages, re-equipping bandages, and frankly, nothing seemed to work. I thought maybe if I exited out of my save and checked to ensure that the mod was still enabled, that might help. So I went to go do that, which I did. I'm pretty sure this is the right one anyway. I'll go ahead and turn this one on too, I guess. Maybe that will work. When I got back in, I was still unable to attempt the life-saving procedure. So Cleo doesn't have much time left. Let's go out with a bang. I started grabbing all the ammunition that would work for my guns, but I was only able to scrape together a little bit of 45 ACP rounds. My dumb memory forgot about the Molotovs and explosives I found in the last episode, which would have made this last stand even more epic. But nonetheless, let's go do this. Jumped back into the car and headed back towards the herd. And even when I got there, I wanted to absolutely ensure that I was still unable to saw my arm off, which I was. If you all enjoyed Cleo's story, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you have recommendations for my next run, or ways to improve the videos in general, comment them down below. Or join my Discord if you want, link down in the description. Anyway, thank you all so much for the support on Cleo Trucko's journey. I'll be putting her story into one big episode, which will be released probably sometime in December. I'm going to save it for a week when I'm out of town and don't have anything to upload. Anyway, I'll see you all in my next project, Zomboid story. Peace out.